Good morning and welcome back to the Collision Hub World's Fair. We're back with our friends from Celette. We had a late night last night playing with some of this equipment that we're going to go over today. But so most of the show so far we've been talking about pretty technical, but today we got a product showcase. So Celette's no longer just structural and measuring and racks and benches. Now we've got a lot of equipment here. So we're going to go through our kind of new product lineup here. We've got some cool equipment we want to share with you, some cool tools. And we're going to learn a little bit about some of these offerings and how to use them in the shop. We got a couple of demonstrations we're going to do. We're going to start off with my favorite. So since I'm kind of hosting the show, we're going to start with my favorite piece of equipment here, the new MIG Mag equipment. So what can you guys tell me about this?
Well, the MIG Mag is our new entry level inverter combi 200. Okay, it does the steel. We can run brass through it. We can run an aluminum spool gun.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've got a spool gun here. We've got it set up for steel this morning. We had it set up for steel.
That's
right. We made some welds.
Yes, sir.
I did a little bit of tuning this morning, so we made a couple of welds. I got a bunch on the backing here, so
got some nice heat.
Yeah,
the backside.
It worked great. This is I think this is 16. This is 22 gauge, I think. 22 gauge.
Yes.
Material here. So we did some plug welds too that we discarded earlier, but had a little troubles getting started. It was the welder, not the welder this morning, but we got it dialed in. Nice weld on here. So we got it set up for steel right now. So we got our C25 shielding gas on here, but we've also got a spool gun.
Right.
That we can do some aluminum on.
Yeah. Now the spool gun's got its own control for the pressure of the wire. You know, the rollers, and it's got a speed control. Okay. For the wire speed, and then your on and off switch right here. Okay. It's pretty easy to use. I mean, it works really nice if you just need to do a couple touch-ups here and there on a bumper reinforcement or something like that. Okay. You know.
and so then if I want to switch over to silicon bronze, I can do that as well.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Sure, just as simple as changing out the wire.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, it works great.
What else about it? What else do you want to tell me about it? I think, as I said, it's a cool tool. It's great that Celette's got some welding equipment now that's in the program. Yep. And like I said, I think it works great.
All of our welders come with Binzel guns, as a matter of fact, so they're parts are easily available. Okay. To if you need some new tips or whatever, everything's pretty much available on the market. Okay. But Team Binzel.
Team Binzel. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, is this the only MIG Mag welding equipment that you have?
No, and we're going to flip through a couple slides this morning, but the one thing about this welder is it's not a step adjustment. It's a potentiometer,
right.
so
talk about that a little bit.
Very fine tuned for.
Right here.
Okay.
Right here we have the ability to control the wire speed and our power over here individually, and it's stepless, so it's infinite. All right, and we can go up to 170 amps full bore. It's easy to switch.
170 amps?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then if you want to switch over to the spool gun, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is flip the one switch down here. It's ready to go.
Okay.
So just change your gas.
Simple. Okay. Shielding gas. We've got our spool gun. We've got our mag torch on here. Our adjustments. It's pretty straightforward.
Right. It just comes with two lines for the gases. Okay. So you could potentially hook up two tanks. Okay. And have it automatically switches over for the electronic solenoid. When you switch over to aluminum, it switches over to gases. Okay. By itself, so you don't have to do anything.
So they got two tanks on there. I flip the switch and I'm
ready to go.
With my spool gun.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't have to throttle gas at all.
And the spool gun's pretty nice. It's got about a 20-foot cable on it, so it goes quite a ways out.
Very good. Now, Bob, you're talking about the other equipment that you've got, other MIG Mag equipment?
Yeah, so I think right now on their screen, if not, maybe we could flash it up, but we launched a new website to go along with the whole welding line. Okay. So in the past we had Celette.com, which was a global website, which we still have that, and now we have a website Celette-USA.com, and that features all of our welding equipment. And we actually built up a couple slides that we can go through the other two welders as well.
Okay. So while we're pulling up those slides, what kind of price point are we talking about on this equipment?
So the price is very aggressive. We came in very aggressive. So this particular welder, if they can see the screen, it's under $1,500.
Okay, so $1,478 for the inverter combi 200, which includes the dual guns.
Well, the spool gun is an option. Okay. But the base welder with the Binzel torch ready to go for brass and copper, selenium, and steel is $14.78. And join the Collision Hub World Fair, and next week we'll do free shipping.
Okay.
So it'd be a flat price, drop ship to you, $14.78.
Well,
that's a good deal.
That's a good deal. Yeah. What's shipping normally run? I mean, how much does that normally cost?
$250, $300, depending on where you're going.
That's a nice little discount. So
yeah, considering.
Do they need to do anything special, or is it just go to CeletteUSA.com? What's the process?
Yeah, or yeah, they can
USA.
they can order it right online, or they can call us.
Okay.
Either way.
Say, hey, we saw the World's Fair show. We want
Right.
we want to get a welder and get it shipped to us.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
it says, I think $14.78 for is a pretty aggressive price for a piece of equipment that'll do steel, aluminum, and silicon
brass.
bronze. That's pretty impressive. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about the other welder a little bit more.
There it is.
Oh, I'm
right
sorry.
there, the AutoMig.
We had the wrong slide up. So, or no, I'm sorry. Now we're on the next welder, AutoMig. So, Greg, you want to touch base on this?
The AutoMig is basically your standard baseline welder. It's also stepless as far as the power and the wire speed is concerned. And I did make a misstatement earlier. This was a 200 amp service, and this one's 170.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so this is going to do your lighter gauge steel. This is as you step up from the welders. We're going to start here with
So this is just steel. There's no aluminum option on this.
That's correct. There's no aluminum on that
Okay.
one. But this one here, when you step up to this one, then you go to the aluminum.
Okay.
Okay, but this is a great starter welder, a great for anybody in the body shop or even a hobbyist.
Okay.
Right, these welders, they all work super sweet. They really do. They're very simple to use. You don't have to do a lot of math to figure out,
Yeah, well, like
all
I said,
the different
I got it
settings.
dialed in pretty quick. Never using the equipment before.
Right, that looks
I made
great.
A couple of welds with it. And I made a little bit of tuning, like any time, right? Which
Right.
is why we make practice welds. Once again, for the 1000th time, or this week already that we're talking about practice welds, and before I weld in the vehicle. But yeah, I got good penetration on here, nice bead on there, and this definitely would pass destructive testing. So, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Just take my word for it.
Take your
But
word. We'll take your word for it.
with this 170 amp welder here, and the stepless adjustments allows you to really dial it down to thin sheet metal.
And that's what I found myself doing. So the first couple
Right.
welds they were a little bit cold. I had
Right.
my wire speed was a little bit higher compared to my voltage, and I got a little bit of a high beat on there, but just a little bit fine tuning back and forth. And I made maybe 4 or 5 welds before I put this one together. So I like that just that little micro adjustment
Right.
on it really gets it tuned in. And Greg and I were talking yesterday about he runs a little bit hot because he likes to go a little bit slower.
Right.
I do a lot of stitch technique. I really like that. Just makes me feel better when I'm making my welds, especially on the thinner material. So I think that's one thing that's really cool about it is it just got that infinite adjustment in there. So whether I'm using our Graves make, we can really get it fine tuned and right where we want it.
And we spent all of last week torturing these welders and ourselves. Just play with them, see what their capabilities were and all that. We played with all 3 of them. I like them.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
That's awesome.
Especially for the price point that they have.
Yeah. Are you getting free shipping on this one too?
We'll do free shipping on all of them this
right.
week and next week.
I'm going to keep asking everything.
Every bit of it.
Free shipping. So
Yes, sir.
that's awesome. Cool. Anything else on the welding equipment? Do you have any other torches we need to talk about?
We do this.
One more.
Can you back up one sec? Just want to flash that price up there again. So this one's
148.
just over $1,000 for a 170 amp welder.
Right.
With a Binzel torch and ready to go. So
Very good.
just all you have to do is put a plug on it and hook up your regulator.
Yes, we know we have to put a plug on. We know we've learned that.
No, it's
Just
a great,
so many
it's a
220
great
plugs.
No,
Yeah,
I know. It's a kind of a running joke that we got here at the Collision Hub studio. We're always
Like air
putting
fittings,
plugs Those should be universal too, but they're not.
That and a 21 millimeter
Yeah, there
socket,
should
and you're
only
all
be one
set.
kind
Yeah, we
of
got
an
it.
air fitting.
Where's that snap truck? You should be here at the latest time too. All right, so what else we got? So let's take a look at the next machine that you've got.
This
Trio
the
digital.
third welder.
Okay.
No
So-
pun intended. Trio third welder.
Yeah. So this is a 3-torch machine.
Correct.
So now we can do steel, silicon bronze,
And the aluminum spool
Okay.
gun.
Right,
Spool gun,
with the spool gun.
Okay, cool.
Right, with the spool gun.
1854 for
Still under $2,000, right?
Yeah, that's with and plus free shipping. Don't forget the free shipping. So Yeah, 18.
Did I mention that there was free shipping?
Let's take that offline. Yeah.
This week and next week,
That's
free
right.
shipping.
There was free shipping.
All right, cool. So 1854 for a trio gun. That's again pretty aggressive price on that as well.
Right.
Well, there's a lot more to it than just the 3 guns.
Okay.
Okay. So you have a low range A and a high range B.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then you have the stepless dial from 1 through 10 on each range. Okay, and that's for steel.
What's the range that you
The range is for our power supply. Okay, so we have a low range from 1 through 10.
Okay.
Runs the lower half of the amperages, and when you step up to the higher side, that's where you want to do the aluminum. You want to switch it on to B, and that's when you would use your spool gun because you need a little more power. Okay. But not only that, it's got a stitch function. It's got a spot function.
Okay.
And
You can
got
adjust
timers.
the ramp speed,
Right.
Okay.
You can adjust the burn back control.
burn back control,
That's
everything.
okay.
Yes.
I think that's a
It's
key.
got some-
that's a nice. That's a nice.
It's got some
piece to have
finer
that.
tuning adjustments on it.
So again, that's a lot of equipment for the money there.
A lot of features.
A lot of features for that kind of
Right.
money. A lot of features, and it's great. It works great. You know, like you were talking earlier about, you'd like to do more of a stitch. I had set the. You know, I haven't welded folks for 30 years. You know, I haven't been out in the market welding every day like you folks. So I had to practice last week. But okay, so what I put it on the timer. I put it on to on, off. And I just held the trigger. And I just did a spot, move over, spot, move over. Beautiful. Nice penetration. Nice. It didn't have a lot of buildup. Look, it was a good weld. Very good weld.
Oh, and it does include 2-step and 4-step function.
Okay.
Yes.
It does have that also.
Wonderful.
Right, it has 2-step, 4-step in normal welding, and then it has 2-step, 4-step in the higher range as well.
Yeah, you just keep adding more stuff onto this thing, so that price keeps getting lower and lower every time.
That's
you add
right.
another feature to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great piece.
Cool.
It's a great piece.
Awesome. All right. Anything else more on the welding equipment?
No, I think we could jump over to
we're
dent
gonna go
pulling,
over
and
by
unless
you, Bob. What,
unless Greg or Greg.
Do you have anything you'd like
Has
to
anything
add?
to add?
I don't have anything else to add to that. Like
All right, well,
I'd like to just add, folks, give us a try. I think you're going to really like it.
Yeah.
Seriously, these are great welders. Give it a shot.
yeah, I would agree. I was, like I said, I was impressed.
Good.
So let's go over to our dent pulling station. What we got going on over here?
So so this dent puller that we see back here, it's called the Duo Spot, and this will do both steel and aluminum.
Okay.
Comes with all the pulling attachments, short bars. If we could lift this one up here, Greg, and show this one. We got full bar, cover whole panel, hood, deck lid, roof, lifting bar.
Tension
lifting
adjustment.
bar
Greg showing here.
also,
Adjustable feet.
and that's adjustable on that.
Got slide hammers as well.
Okay.
And then we're going to show some attachments that we have set up on the table.
So walk us through a little bit about the process. How do I go about prepping the material? How do I go about getting my ground on there? Let's walk through the setup process for our steel panel that we got here. Now we don't have any aluminum panels here today, but we do have a steel panel that we're going to do some demonstrations on. So why don't you walk us through that?
Yeah. So the ground is a magnetic ground with the ground built into it.
I like that.
So you don't have to vice grip anything onto the panel and do more damage.
Yep.
So it's a quick ground system. We've got different keys that we can weld on. So here we've got the straight keys, and then we also have the twisted keys. So depending on which direction the dent is going, if you have a crease or something.
Well, those twisted keys also work really nice, and like if I've got a feature line, you know, that I can kind of put a bar through to make sure that I've got that lined up. I like that.
Right.
Right.
We've got the quick load.
Okay.
So this makes it very easy to go ahead and run a line of your keys.
So I don't have to go each and every time, put a new key in.
Right.
Zzz, put a new key in.
Yeah. So once we weld this key on and we pull it back, now this key is attached to the panel, and then we just trigger it and we're ready to go. The other thing is we've got a outline here.
It's a target.
So it allows you to line it up to the key that's already been attached to the panel. So if this is on the panel, then you'll put this silhouette next to the actual key, and it allows you to
help
keep
keep
them
them
to
line-
build
keep
a
it in
straight
line.
line.
I gotta admit, I really like that. I'm not saying it was me, but I've seen other people like misalign keys because they don't have that featured on there.
Yeah, it's so easy to miss them.
So, and then you're going through and you get all the keys on there, and you take a step back. And then,
Right. Yeah, you got the snake. Yeah. So.
it's like one of my paint jobs, you know.
It comes with age.
You know, then you can't get your pull rod through, which was
Right.
the whole reason of setting up that line.
Right.
And we've got a couple different size pull rods that come along with it.
But like I said, I really like that. I think it's just that's something novel. That again, it's one of those things for me. Like, why did someone else think this before? Right? That's cool. I like that.
So we've got some different size pull rods that come with it.
And I choose
Long,
my
medium,
pull
and then
rod.
there's a short one inside the kit as well.
So I just really choose that based on the type of dent I've got, the size
The
of
length,
the dent.
yeah.
Length. Okay.
Oh, here's the short ones here already set up. So we've
Okay.
got some keys welded on. And if you're not familiar with the way that these work, is on a straight pull they're very strong, and then when you're done with them, to take them off, you just simply give them a twist, and then they're reusable.
Okay.
So once you go through all of them that are in your quick load, then you can just reload them back up again because they'll last you quite a long time.
Any idea how long? How many times can you put this on and off?
Well, you
Any
can
idea?
clean
I'd
them
say-
up if you have to.
Okay.
I'd say without cleaning them, you could probably use them 15 to
Okay.
20 times, depending on
Come through a little scuff.
the
on
heat
there
that you put on them.
afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, I like that too. Again, we're recycling it. We're not using excess material on
Right.
it. We can save it for later. That's another thing that I really like about the keys is the reusability of them.
Right.
Right. Well, the proper way to use it is to use enough keys to pull the pressure without having to weld them on solid, like
Right.
Right. They're
Yeah, we
meant
want
to
to
just
try to
really
keep that heat
hang
down
on.
on there and
Right.
not put more damage.
We don't
into
want
the
to have any
panel.
burn back on the back
Right.
panel.
Yeah, we don't want to burn the back side of the panel.
Right. Corrosion.
So besides the two different types of keys, then we've got some different types of stars that we can weld on. So
Okay.
here we've got 3 welded on, and these are kind of unique because you can either weld just 1 point, or if you've got a bigger dent, you can weld 2 points.
Okay. So how would I choose, which system I want to use? I've got the keys, I've got the stars, I've got the,
Okay. So now that's
these are aluminum ones,
for
right?
aluminum.
Yep, so those are fully aluminum.
So those are your aluminum studs there.
right.
But yeah, here's your different keys, and then these here round ones and these small triangles are for tighter areas, and we'll show you those actually with our next dent puller. We've got another dent puller to show you as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is, well, I guess a lot of people are familiar with it if they've been doing dent pulling, but it's a small pressure type gun, and then we've got different
It's a rapid pull gun.
ends to put on it. So like Greg said, it's a rapid pull. You'll weld this to your panel, you'll do your pull, and then you'll just give it a twist to take it off and put it next to it, or to work that actual dent. But we've got these bases. So this one here would be for like a crease line.
Okay.
Gives you just that opening. And what do you got there, Greg? The
We
round
have a
one?
big
Bigger
circle
dent.
for a big
Okay.
dent, and we have a smaller tiger foot, and then we have for the bigger square or crease or
So
Dent.
depending on the type of dent too, right?
Right here.
Because it allows you to put pressure on the panel and then pull in that area. And they're quick change,
Yep, it's real easy to put these on here.
no tools,
Okay, just screws it. Okay.
Yeah, it just slides on.
just
there.
a cam lock.
Excuse me. I can't see.
Yeah, here, go ahead. I don't want to get you. I'll let you use your hands there.
Thank
Kind of hard when someone else holds something, right?
Yeah. Whoops. All right, so you have to turn these
These have to be on a
sideways.
flat spot.
flat spots to the sides. Got one that's not turned right. Okay.
There you go.
Then turn them over with your thumb.
Boy, I like
Lock
that.
it on.
Okay.
Okay. Spring loaded.
Yeah, so if we can see this here, Avery, maybe. So here's all the.
Yeah, the
All right,
spring
now I
loaded.
loosen it up. There we go. So I really like that, the quick kind of feature. So we just can straighten out put the flat part against the bar to loosen it, spring load it up, twist it, and it locks it in. So I'm not using an Allen wrench or something going and taking a little bit of time on that. And one thing I love the line pullers like that with the keys and everything, but I really like this for like finishing stuff as well, and I
Mm-hmm.
really like just make a quick zap, put a little tension on there, a little tap,
Right.
tap, tap, twist it, tap, tap. That's what I really like about this whole setup is this type of equipment for that finishing part of it.
It's for
I
the
have smaller
fine-tuning.
nets as well,
Right.
but I just really like if I got like that one little low spot that I'm just having troubles getting out after I've done most of the work. I just go back in there, little
Do just a
pressure
little
on
bit more.
there, little tap,
Right.
twist.
Right.
It's just zzz, tap, 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 zzz. It's quick, it's easy, and then, like I said, I really like this.
And with the different shape openings, it allows you to create different pressure points where some rapid pullers are just a wide open area. These templates allow you to make different pressure points and
Yeah.
if
Focus
the
where you
Focus
want
the
to focus
pressure.
on. Yeah.
Right. And the tips are replaceable. Comes with
Okay.
replaceable tips.
So,
This one has got a little
yeah.
point. You can feel the little tip on the end of it.
And so you think
Okay,
I
so
clean
when
this,
that gets
clean
worn
this
off,
off
then
and
you would
reuse
change
it
it.
several times?
Yep.
Right.
And some maybe I should probably clean it off in between jobs, maybe a couple times.
Scotch
during the
Brite or
jobs.
something,
Yeah.
you don't need to sand it down or anything per se.
And it's adjustable based on how deep I need to go with my.
Yep.
How far you want to pull up. Yeah.
Awesome. I really like that a lot. Like I said, I don't know why this was my favorite part of the whole tool, but it really is. So I think it's that's a cool tool. Just that part alone for me, like I said, I've always liked that part of it. So
Yeah.
cool.
And then-
What else we got in the?
So this
in
is
the
all
kit?
for steel.
It's all for steel. Okay.
And then we've got the aluminum side of the machine.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of flipping a switch and attaching the actual aluminum gun.
Okay.
So some dent pulling systems you'll use a
Just a
ground on aluminum and you'll have to clamp it
Yep.
and then
Yep.
rely on the electricity to pass through the whole panel. So what we've done is we've used these 3 grounding studs to keep the power transfer very close to the electrode.
Yep.
And the electrode is actually the aluminum stud like you have in your hand there.
Right.
And as long as we have those 3 touching, we'll get a good weld all the way around the stud.
And again,
So-
that's another thing that I really like is that it's the ground's built into it. I don't have that accessory ground
Right.
Right.
that I've got to deal with. I'm all right there. And so we got our aluminum magnesium ALMGSI and aluminum magnesium. So we got a couple different types of studs
Right.
on it. So that's cool too.
And we got 2 different sizes.
2 different
Right,
sizes. Okay.
right.
And then again, we're going to line these up, and now instead of the keys, we're going to be we're going to screw these on.
Screw the
correct?
keys onto it. That's correct.
And just like so, we end up with a setup like that.
Right. So we end up
in a
similar
line.
to what we have with a key and a rod.
Once I put my stud on there, and just screw it on.
Just threads on.
Right.
Yep.
And the nice thing is, if you notice, those keys rotate. Right.
Right. So you can pull a curve if you had to.
Yep. Awesome. That's awesome. Very nice. And like I said, I really like the ground clamp being kind of its own thing. too.
Yeah,
On
it
the
works
ground.
nice. And the nice thing about this is you can set this to automatic or you can set it to manual. So if you want to wait until you get, do you know where you're at and then pull the trigger? You
Okay.
can, or you can set it to automatic.
Okay.
And that's the same with the dent pulling systems. We can have it on manual or automatic. And there's also the ability to save some programs
Okay.
within the system.
Very good.
So you can come
Now,
back and
you've also got a
repeat it.
smaller version of some equipment as well, correct? What about this Rapid Spot Mini? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm going to let Greg take you on this one.
Okay.
It's a smaller version. It only does steel.
Okay.
And these
We've
are-
actually got it all.
These are
already
both
set
110.
up.
So anywhere in the shop, you can
Okay.
use them.
Yep. Indoors or out.
The nice thing with this one, now this is the attachment with the slide hammer
Southern
on it.
States.
Yep.
So we can do our just spot done. Or this fits right over the top of it. Now we have that small welding
Oh, okay.
like you have on that
Same
pressure
tip that's
tip
on
there.
this one.
This exact same tip.
Okay.
All fits on the same thing. So you're not sitting there once again with an Allen wrench that you're going to drop and chase across the shop.
That never happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you slide hammer right built onto there.
Exactly.
Tap, tap, tap again.
And
So
it has
Same thing. We got our magnetic ground here again.
magnetic ground. They're strong.
It is strong. All right, so it's not going to come off
No, it will not come off.
unless it's an aluminum panel.
Well, then it's not going
to.
It's not going to stick for very long.
All right.
Let's pull the accessory box out so we can show what comes in that as well.
The accessory box is sitting on there. And there's actually a hook
That's just what I was looking for.
that screws into this so you can set up your different keys.
Okay.
There's a hook that screws into this. It's inside that box, and you can use it as a slide hammer also.
All right. Very good. Now we're going to come back to another piece of equipment on here. So this is not, this entire stand is not part of it.
No.
There's two pieces of equipment on here, just to be aware. So we're going to come back.
We're only talking about this top piece right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to show you what's in the accessory kit, are these pointed washers that we showed here, welded on, and these can be welded on with just one tip or two points for a bigger dent. And again, you can put a line of these on.
There you go.
Use a rod and pull a bigger dent. For really tight areas, we've got these small triangles, which we do have a few welded on over there as well.
Okay.
But allows you to get into real tight area.
Sorry. And the attachment for it, where did it go? The little round rod.
I think it put it in the box.
Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
It's
for your
actu-
slide hammer, we've got a
Okay.
quick hook as well.
Right here in the gun.
It's in the gun right there. For these, because they're so small,
Okay.
there's a magnet inside of it that holds
Oh,
them in
okay.
place.
So that's the tip that you'd use for that one, Jason.
You can,
It works.
Got a magnet in it.
got a magnet that just holds it in place.
Cool.
And once again, three-sided, used multiple times.
Okay.
So these, all these attachments, they are steel, but copper coated for better electricity transfer.
All right. So let's talk price once again. What do we got on the
So
big unit?
let's flash up the screen for the rapid puller, if we could.
Throw the rapid puller. Okay. Oh, dual spot first.
Oh, okay. So that's the big dent puller that we just talked about. We're still under 6,000, and that's what we call the complete. Okay. So what you see here is the complete, and then we've got two other versions where we can take some of the equipment out. So you have a choice. But the complete package it's still under $6,000.
Right. It's
And
a
then
phenomenal price.
Yep, and then that's for steel and aluminum. Now this one just for steel, small, rapid puller, very mobile. This is what we call our complete package. It comes on the trolley. We're
So
still under
parts included.
yes,
Okay.
and
Trolley.
we're still under $1,200 on that.
Okay.
And
And
if you want to,
shipping?
we'll do free shipping. Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Now, if you want to get rid of the cart, you can buy just the unit itself.
Okay.
So it could be even less. So we've got
Then
different
you got
ways
more
to buy
stuff
things.
laying around, right? Just
But it is very portable. It's very light.
yeah. Yeah.
It's very light.
For sure. Okay.
And again, 110,
Yep.
Yep.
so can be used anywhere.
Cool.
Pretty
Very,
handy.
very cool.
Pretty handy.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice. All
The
right.
guy can have one in each stall. Really, I mean, because that's what then they're just going to use it for a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But they'll use it every day.
Cool. All right. What next? Want to talk about plasma cutting real quick?
Sure.
Cool. So you've got a plasma cutter available now too. So again, that's what we're going to be doing necessarily during the collision repair process. On a section of rail, might not be using this plasma cutter, but there's a lot of uses for plasma cutter. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit
Oh,
about plasma cutter.
Yeah, with a little bit of practice, you can cut around spot welds for panel removal, gain access, hobbies.
Yeah.
Body men's always building something, right? Building their own pole clamps or whatever. So nice unit, very portable, quick startup, quick learning. There's no learning curve really to a plasma cutter. Just plug it in and go.
Yeah,
right.
there's nothing to it. And it works great, even on real fine metal. You can cut 0.23, or 0.6 millimeters. Just, really fine. Aluminum, it cuts aluminum.
Aluminum,
Works
steel.
for anything you want to cut, it'll cut.
Okay.
But you can fine tune it. It goes from 10 amps to 40 amps. So anywhere in between, it's infinite. So
Okay.
it works great. There's not a whole lot to say about plasma cutters.
Yeah. It's a
They either
plasma
cut or
cutter,
they don't.
Yeah. So
You know,
let's talk price on the plasma cutter.
1,100.
$1,100 for plasma cutter. Okay. Very good. All right.
Delivered for the next 2 weeks.
So, delivered for free shipping. Cool. Okay, let's come back over here, and we got one more tool here, and then we want to talk. Certainly, we're going to end with our Trioxyclean system. So we got an induction heater. Now we've got a new induction heater system as well. Tell us a little bit about the induction heater, and let's do some demos.
I'll
on
let
the,
Greg do this one because that's his favorite tool.
I love it. working with old tractors and stuff.
You get some difficult bolts.
You get some difficult bolts, and an induction heater works so great.
Right.
So let's show the attachments so
Yeah.
so we can see the options.
We have, this right here is actually just a long cable
Set this up.
that if you've got a seized up pipe
Yeah,
or
great.
something like
Take that
that,
over
you
to
can
the
wrap
side.
this around it multiple times, as long as you can get both ends connectors back to here, and you can heat that up. Emblems,
Okay.
things like that on a car, you can heat up with that. We, several attachments for different size bolts,
Bolts, nuts.
nuts, whatever you need to get a hold of. Small pipes, if you can get it over one end where you're trying to take a joint out, something like that. This is actually used for heat shrinking,
Okay.
sheet metal. You see, we played with it quite a bit last week.
Yeah.
Hail dents as well, right?
Hail dents.
Hail season right now.
Hail dents work
Right.
and all that.
That's right.
But we were playing with it last week, a smaller bolt than this. I had it almost to the point of glowing red in 10 seconds. This one, being a bigger bolt,
That's a big bolt.
is going to take, I just push the button right there, and I'm holding it.
Chris is monitoring the temperature
It's
there.
at 74 right now in this room. I can hit the wall.
It is still turned on, right?
So we're at 130 right now, 150.
150. Oh, it's getting hot.
There it is.
170,
There's some smoke coming off of it
190.
now.
200, 250. I'm not on the hot part either.
And actually,
300.
right,
Getting ready.
right
Yeah,
now,
Where
Yeah.
you're
That's-
measuring is definitely not the hot
629.
we're going red.
part. Yeah, doesn't take
And this
long.
one doesn't have that pulse, that grinding groan that a lot of them have and all that. It's very quiet,
Okay.
just as you go.
Oh shoot, it was way up, almost 800. Still at 750 degrees, millimeters.
Millimeter, yeah. So,
Sorry, folks.
is it
Close enough.
great,
Yeah, close enough.
and you can attach these from the front and from either side.
Yeah, show us that.
So-
hold up a little bit so the camera can see.
So ease of use, it's got both sides and from the front, depending on what you need
I
to
can
get
come
to.
on here, I come on there. So if I need-
Exactly.
So it's got
If
6
I need to get in
positions.
the area this way, I can do it that way.
You can do it that way. Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
So something like, for hail or whatever, it'd be easier to plug this one in this way and
Right,
hold
then
it
you
over
can
the
just
car than.
use it.
Yeah, I think the induction heaters are cool. I mean, I know they've come a long ways in a short period of time, and they've become pretty popular. And it's awesome that you guys have one now.
Right.
Once again, the more you use it,
Yeah.
the more you can fine tune what it is that you're
Yep.
doing.
And my favorite thing about an inductor heater is taking like seam sealer off, to access spot welds.
The stuff that you need to heat up normally is a little bit
Right.
quicker way to heat some stuff
Yeah.
up, and especially if I'm not going to worry about the backside or worry about that adhesive. I'm not trying to save that adhesive. I'm
Exactly.
maybe remove it.
And a lot of people
Right.
say, well, heat gun works too. The difference with the inductor is actually you're not heating the actual, say, seam sealer, but you're heating the metal because it's inducting with the metal to
Yep.
create the heat there first and transfer it up, and that's why they work so well.
And it's quicker, right? And it's,
Sure.
It's faster than the heat gun.
A lot
In most
faster.
cases,
Yeah. Yep.
So if we could get the inductor slide up, we just show that real quick. So there it is, Jason. $800. What do you think, sir?
$800 and free shipping.
Free shipping,
Okay with
yes, sir.
that Once again, so that's great. That's an awesome price too. So.
So
the only thing let's go back real quick. We didn't really talk about the.
I was gonna
the
mention
hammers,
that.
did we, when we were talking about the.
But just so, if I could just back up for just 1 minute, we also have larger induction heaters. Okay.
Okay.
They're available up to truck size. So I mean, you want to do a heater bigger, we have them available.
Okay.
Okay, but back to the dual spot,
Yep.
as you were going to mention, they do come with the aluminum hammers.
Like it.
Okay, it's a very nice selection of hammers. All right, so we have the matching bills. All right,
Well,
okay,
yeah, they all have a different shape to them
right. They all have a different
or
intensity.
angle.
Right, this one is it's chiseled this direction. The other one's chiseled vertically.
okay.
Okay.
Again,
And then we've got
Collision Tech's like their hammers, right?
this
So
one
having
too.
different
Oh.
options on it is
Yes.
huge.
And you'll know whose it is because they say Celette on it.
I'm supposed to say Jason on it.
Okay, let's move this.
Watch your hand.
Yeah, it might be a little bit warm. Be careful.
Yeah, I was just joking,
Yeah,
folks.
okay. And again, we mentioned it earlier, but I just want to mention one more time that this unit, the cart, serves dual roles. You don't get the induction heater with
That's correct.
With the Stug. I just want to
Right,
make
but it is available. You know,
And it is the cart is made to store these items. It's just not included.
Okay.
You know, it's an optional purchase.
We did have a question that came in on the Trimig torch or the Trimig machine.
Okay.
What torches does it come with?
It comes with the Benzol.
two
Benzol
Benzels.
also.
Two Benzels, so we have steel and silicon bronze essentially, and then again like the spool gun is an add-on.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Two
spool gun's an
torches,
option.
And then the spool gun. How much is the spool gun? How much is that for?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It's aggressively priced.
Okay.
But yeah, we could shoot them back an answer after the show.
Okay.
On the
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, so two heads on the gun, and then the spool gun's an additional add-on. So we'll work on getting the price on that.
That's right.
Okay, cool. Another question came in. Does the induction heater work on aluminum?
no.
Very good.
They actually do make special inductors for aluminum because you depend on a magnetic field with induction.
Yep.
So
I was at a company one time looking at some induction equipment when I first learned about it, and they had a piece of aluminum. And the other thing with aluminum is that the aluminum melts at a lower temperature than the aluminum oxide. So they had a pretty fancy setup when I was looking at this, and that you could see it was like this glob because the oxide hadn't melted.
But everything inside of it did.
So cool.
Oh, wow.
So bizarre. So this equipment doesn't do it, but that was like I said, that was a little bit more scientific kind of.
yeah,
Right.
that's a real special
Yeah.
inductor.
But I'll tell you what, it was a really big, cool video, that's for sure. Okay, cool. What else? Is there anything on the equipment that we didn't cover before we jump on the Trioxyclean? Is there anything else about the equipment that we mentioned? We'll double check. We got no other questions coming in right now. Anything else you want to feature that maybe we forgot about there, Greg?
I think we covered most everything.
Unless you want to go across the dual spot control board at all. Other than that, like I said, you can change your power. You have the control that changes from auto to manual for your either gun, whether it's the aluminum stud gun or the steel stud gun. And we have our different features here for the different type of attachments that we want to do. We can just run across the board. Okay.
So depending on what I'm using, it's going to give me different power.
Right. It's going to get a different power.
And it actually gives you the picture for each different piece.
Pictograms are nice, aren't
Right,
they?
pictograms
exactly
are
what
great.
you're dealing
So
with.
an old man like me can actually see that. Now I can actually build in a program and save it too as well down here.
Oh, okay.
So I can come back if I have the same car, the same panel.
Okay.
I can set it up. Say, oh yeah, I know that welded nice that way. I'm just going to set it up and save it for the next time.
Okay.
And then you can actually set it back to factory default as well by just holding 2 buttons for 2 seconds and it'll
Right.
reboot
There's,
it.
Instructions within the manual that tells you how to control that.
Okay. Awesome.
But that's about it. We have our large pull bar that we showed before. We have the smaller pull bar. The nice thing about this one is it's infinite. I don't have to do this. I can just dial it in nice and gently right here with infinite control. Okay. The same with this one. And then we have on the back we have our standard pull arm. That's of course it's adjustable in length. All right. You can loosen it up here and you can adjust it in length. All right. Tighten it back up.
That's a nice quick adjustment there to move that as well.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
Okay, so of course you can move this one as well.
And everything is lightweight. Everything's
Yeah, this is all aluminum.
lightweight.
Everything's aluminum, so it's pretty lightweight.
Awesome.
Just like the new cross members on our bench.
There you go. Way to go, Greg.
So there's a lot more information on the website, on the new website, Celette-USA.com. Click on the welder. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see a download, and that give you access to the accessories and the brochure for each product.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Now there's one more piece of equipment that's newer that we don't have here, and frankly, it's because we can't keep them in stock. Right? They're flying off the shelves. So every time you get one in, it's
somebody else wants it.
So
They're going
tell us
out.
about the Trioxyclean system.
So the Trioxyclean has been a great product. We do have them back in stock again, and we have another shipment on its way.
Okay.
So we do have a better we're filling the pipeline a little bit better now than we were last year.
Ships are getting over a little bit quicker. And,
The ships aren't getting quicker, but we're being a little more wise on our ordering.
Yeah.
So sterilizes the inside of the vehicle, kills viruses. It's been proven to kill corona, SARS. Deodorizes is a big thing. We have people that have had stolen recoveries that have been smoked in, dropped food in. Fantastic. We've got great testimonials on that. Last year we did a couple of heavy smoker cars here, and 4 weeks later I think Kristen interviewed them, and they were still smell free. Okay. So great product, and Facebook is blowing it up. People are constantly posting on it. So so they're back in stock, and we're shipping them every day.
Okay. Now a couple things with Trioxyclean. Kristen did a Cool Tools episode on the Trioxyclean system, so definitely go to the YouTube page and check that out if you haven't seen it. It's really cool. It is a cool tool.
It's a good video.
She did a great job on the video.
People are ultra sensitive right now about germs and everything else, so it's a great marketing tool. When you bring it in there, even if it's during your initial inspection, to show that, hey, we're going to take good care of your car, we're going to clean it and disinfect it. Right. It's a fairly short process.
It's a 10-minute cycle.
10-minute cycle.
Yep. It's 2 different gases. Okay. So we get the surface and we get the air. Gets in all the AC vents and cooling system. Okay. Kills mold and bacteria inside the heater box, evaporator box. Most shops, what they'll do is when they bring the car in, they'll treat it before they even roll it into their building. So now they know their employees are safe.
Right.
And then once the car is final detail, all finished up, they'll do the car again, and then close the door. And that's nobody's been in the car after the treatment, so they can deliver the car back to the customer with peace of mind.
And I think that's huge. I mean, that piece of it, from a customer satisfaction, from a marketing standpoint for your shop, I think is huge. That we're taking care of our employees, which is great. I mean, it gives you a good feeling as a customer. But to know that when I get the vehicle back, I can jump in there and feel comfortable that this is taking place. And let's talk about the price point on this, because this one I think is ridiculous. The price for what you're getting and how quickly you can turn that around.
Right.
Talk about the price of the Trioxyclean.
It drop shipped to the shop. We're under $3,000. We're $29.95.
Okay.
And then the only thing on top of that is tax if you're in a taxable state. So yeah, it's a great investment. Kristen had it worked out to I forget how many cars to pay off.
Yeah, not many, because again, it's a non-included operation. So again, if I'm putting that on my estimate, making sure that I'm doing that each and every time, it's that ROI on it's pretty prompt.
Okay, so if I could just say the last thing about this is the Trioxyclean is really, if you clean the car, you're always going to clean the car before you send it out the door, right?
Yeah, also, right?
Yeah, so you're interjecting chemicals and cleaning agents and all kinds of stuff that people could be sensitive to.
Yep.
And you're leaving that behind.
Yeah.
So the last thing you want to do is use the Trioxyclean until you're all done with everything and you clean all that scent out, so you're not smelling like lemon inside the car, and the customer's not reacting to allergies from those things.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it. So I don't just finish my Trioxyclean and then open the door and jump in, right? I've got there's a wait time after that. Correct?
Yeah, you want to give it 4 or 5 minutes.
Anyway.
But that's a good point that Greg made, because it is a natural gas, right? It's all natural. So we're taking ambient air, passing it through the machine, changing it to ozone and anion. So there's one ozone cycle for 5 minutes. Machine automatically kicks into the anion for the second cycle, and then it shuts off automatically. The flashing light stops, and the car's done. Give it a few minutes to air out for 5 minutes, and you're done.
And I like the flashing light, letting people know that, hey, this thing's going.
Right.
We talked about shop communication with the guys from my car yesterday. I think that's a huge shop communication piece, and don't go over there and open up the tailgate or something if you see that light going on.
Right.
Right. Well, the Trioxyclean is a great piece of equipment, but there was I think it's superior to anything out there, and I'll tell you why. Because you go to all the shops around, and some of them are using the ozone machine. Okay,
Yep.
so just making ozone. They think, oh, we got an ozone machine. We're good. We're good.
The old school ozone machine.
Old school ozone. Well, we're making ozone,
Yep.
but we're covering it with another product after that, with the negative side, with the anion. Okay, they don't have that, and that's the whole thing that they're missing. You know, they're only getting half the job done.
Yeah.
All right.
And the ozone machines were great before this newer technology, but I know that they didn't take out.
They take a long time.
everything either. You know.
Right. Yeah, a lot of times you'd run those other units for an hour or so inside the car,
Right.
and you'd still have some of those odors.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've perfected that.
Yeah. So if you don't have one of those, you definitely need one of those. So you might have a MIG weld, you might have some other equipment that we talked about, but if you don't have the
Trioxyclean
you
is a
gotta
must.
get that. Especially, it's an essential tool, I think, for
Yes.
shops today to make sure that, again, we're protecting our employees and we're protecting our customers. And again, just from that customer satisfaction and good feel part of it, I think it's huge.
And we have some shops now that have 4 and 5 Trioxyclean machines, where some people are running a whole nother business on fleets
Right.
for township vehicles, police departments, daycares. So it's really
Rental
endless.
car companies.
Again, another community service,
Give us a
marketing kind of
call.
opportunity, get people to your shop even. I think that there's a lot of things around the Trioxyclean system that we haven't really even thought about how we can really harness it and really use it for. Like you said, hey, police department, come on down whenever you want. We'll hook you up. And it
Right.
builds up that reputation. It helps with the community support. Like I said, I just think it's great for a lot of different things to protect everybody.
Well, we have one distributor that sold it to the National Guard, cleaning tanks and half tanks or whatever, Humvees
Yeah.
for the National Guard.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Well,
So
it's so great to see all this new equipment from you guys. Like I said, we had a lot of fun playing with it last night and this morning again. I suspect hopefully leave some of it behind. We can play with it some more once you guys are out of here. But really appreciate your time this morning. So Celette-USA.com for more information. And again, this week and next week, if you're going to order any of this equipment, give these guys a shout. Let them know that you're interested in it. Free shipping can be included in it. So get online, get those orders going.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. It's been a
Appreciate
pleasure
it.
to be here.
We will be back. I'm going to pull up my schedule here. We'll be back in the not too distant future. We've got at 11 a.m. Central performing ADAS calibration research with ADAS Think and Aztec. Now, this is one you definitely don't want to miss. We're going to talk about why some of the vehicle manufacturers have requirements warning you against bumper repairs, and we're going to show you exactly why. This one's going to, I'm excited about this one. We're doing some bumper repairs this week, and this is going to blow your mind. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Then at 2 o'clock, Jason's going to be back. We're talking about in-house diagnostics and calibration for collision repairs. And then at 6 o'clock tonight, little happy hour action, collision interwebs, who done it? So we've been scouring the internet looking at some of your repairs, and we're going to have some conversation about that this evening. So thanks again, guys, from Celette.